So you've come up against something and you're seeking an answer. And you know your purpose isn't really going to be found in any of those things. Like, I have a new job or a new house or like a new person I'm seeing or like a kid. And I'm like, what's the purpose? Like, okay, that's good that you're asking those things. But the purpose, quote unquote, is going to happen regardless of what job it is, what we're doing for money, the relationship that we're in, although relationship can be a better indicator of purpose, because that's not something that you can really find on your own. You know, like you could be a window washer, or you could be a car salesman, or you could be a monk, and you would have like the same purpose. So the expression and quality of that purpose is going to be different, but it doesn't really change, if that's making sense. So then just imagine like doing that thing that you really felt like yourself, and then like doing it over and over and over again, like a million times, and then like a billion times, and then you're going to get in touch with your purpose. So, you know, I think a lot of people think they're going to find like it's this job, or it's this career, or it's this place to live, or this person to date, and they're going to be really disappointed, because the reality is that your purpose is really, really mundane. Like, spirituality is going to be really, really mundane if you want to follow it all the way, because it's going to be like one thing you said, or like one cup that you picked up and then someone else like drank from it, or one moment that you turned to someone and you really said something and they got it. Like, that could be it. And actually, the more you can empty yourself of those things and those containers that seem to give you meaning, the more you'll actually find meaning. It's very paradoxical. So you might need a meditation retreat or travel to get to those things, and a lot of people do, or you might not. A lot of people actually don't. It really just depends on what kind of container of meaning that you're creating your reality around. There's plenty of people who go to meditation retreats and they never find their purpose because they're so obsessed with the meditation retreat, you know? So a lot of people want to make a purpose because they want to make sense of a world that feels devoid of meaning, when to make meaning you actually have to go into the void of no meaning and actually make sense of things in the sense of tongue, sight, smell, hearing, touch, literally our senses. And contact with the physical world is going to bring this understanding that there is purpose and there is meaning and there is a larger story that's cosmic and beautiful and all of those things. But it actually takes like walking away from so many other things that say, well, you would make a great blah blah. Like, I've been a great teacher, I've been a great blogger, I've been a great saxophone player. Good enough, you know, maybe not great, but good enough to get by. But like, again, that idea of purpose, and if that's something that you're seeking, like, that is something that's so much greater and that you don't actually have to do anything to deserve. And also remember that pleasure is an interior experience. We're not talking about going out and grabbing something external. It can only come from the internal. So like right now, I'm really just enjoying talking on my phone and creating something. It has nothing to do with any outcome or any reliability, or it's just a practice. It's just something that has, it's not making me feel good, but in the act of doing it, there's goodness within it. In human design language, they just say no choice, which sounds really fatalistic to a lot of people, but to me, that's the translation of it. It's like, you don't have to do anything to deserve that. You can discover it, and you can play with it through different mediums, but please, like, do not think that you are not good enough to find that thing. You know, if you're like 60% of the population and you have an open heart, you will suffer from that forever. Because if you can't find a basic experience of pleasure, how are you ever going to find a basic experience of purpose? Those two things go hand in hand. So start small, start with the basics. Feel the sun on your toes. Don't go sunbathing all day, and don't sit inside in the air conditioning. Find a happy balance. And then, like, notice your heart. Your heart might start to light up. And for a lot of people, that's like really even just a difficult thing to get to. So start with the toes, start with the eyes, start with something that is really easy to access. And then the deeper elements are going to open up, and it's going to be really, really easy. So, for example, if you want to just come into tune with the sensory world, it's as simple as just feeling your toes. So I feel my toes. They're getting warm by the sun. It's not uncomfortable. It's not comfortable. It's somewhere in between. And that's kind of where we can actually begin to come into a recognition of pleasure. It's pleasurable. A lot of times people, I'm in the sun, I'm too hot, I'm going to get out. Or, I'm in the sun, I want to be in the sun all day and get a tan, and then they get heat stroke. Like, neither one is pleasure. Pleasure is that place where you feel comfortable, you can sit there, and you can enjoy the sensory world. So please give yourself a chance to experience that. And also noticing that this self, the one that's making this video and speaking, is not my real self. It's just a personality. But my actual body and the actual thing that I'm here to express and my purpose is something so much greater than that. It's something that lasts in this lifetime and beyond this lifetime, whether or not you believe that even exists. You can just look at a plant and notice that plant is sitting there and is inherent with beauty, that its seed is in the ground and the earth, and that it didn't use a mind to decide to grow towards the sun. It just did those things naturally. But no one's out there like telling this plant, like, you're not fulfilling your purpose, And everything, including human beings, has a design that's unique. Every single thing, like the plant and me, both have a design that's unique and crafted in a way to allow its deepest inherent beauty, truth, and goodness to come true and to come alive. The funny thing is, for humans, because we have this great thing called a frontal lobe, it's a little harder for us to access, but it's totally possible, and it's totally something that every single person can do, and every single person has the invitation to do and the possibility to do. And like, is it going to create world peace tomorrow? No. Is it going to end all war? No. Is it going to make you the hottest, sexiest person on the planet? Like, maybe, I don't know, but probably not. Like, it's just going to get you a little closer to harmonizing and to well-being that we know is possible. That's it. It's not that complicated. I know in my design I'm a 13.5. People put a lot of pressure on me to like save them or have the answer, or like, oh, you're gonna make this go away because this thing's like nothing to do with that. And like, if I don't do those things for people, I will get freaking burned at the stake for it. They will make sure that like I didn't live up to their expectation. I mean, the only person who I have to be is myself and my body is the thing I'm living in. My body is the thing that drinks the tea. My body is the thing that makes the video. My body is the thing that does business. My body is the thing that has a relationship. My body is the thing that I experience life through. So why wouldn't I want to be in my body? It makes sense. And my mind is going to know certain things, but I cannot expect my mind to do those things because I as an individual am completely incapable of it. By speaking these things out loud, I can rally the collective into their own knowing, and then we can actually make progress. But until then, there's nothing that I can do as an individual. So in conclusion, if you've watched some or enough of this, I'm a bit of a rebel, and that's really the space of my evolution. and I'm kind of just here to be invited. So let's start a revolution.